So I podcast now. I've been doing it for what is it, like 3 months now. Thank you guys for listening. I noticed that most of my listeners are on Facebook. So when I check the stats on my podcast, it's like nobody's listening to me. And then, actually, y'all are listening on YouTube, and it's a lot of y'all. And I thank you. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I'm not mad at that. So it seems like YouTube is probably where you'll find me the most, and then the other social media platforms. With my podcast, the difference between the podcast on the air and the podcast on YouTube is YouTube. I'm going to have a lot of obviously my visuals. The podcast will be on there, but it will predominantly be like credit stuff, free game. Some of my interviews will be on both the airways and YouTube, but it's predominantly just the YouTubey part, not the podcasty part of the YouTube channel. But the YouTubey part is just, all credit talk all the time, facts, free games, so on and so forth, and occasional interviews. The podcast is where I do a lot of my story time. So the reason why I did that is it's just based off of attention span. A lot of people that listen to podcasts, they're listening to it. They have the time to listen to it. Maybe they're driving or at work. They need to hear something in the background, whatever. They're laying down, whatever their situation is, they have the time to sit down, chill, and listen to a podcast. Most people, when it comes to YouTube, they're not going to sit there and just stare at the screen and listen. So what you will find on YouTube is going to be different than what you're going to find on the podcast. So be sure to check it out. Even if you're checking it out on YouTube, that's totally okay. But it's just going to be two separate things. So I'm still going to give out facts. I'm still going to have the interviews on the podcast, but there will be story times, not just from me, but from other people as well. So there, get that, get that in your head.